What is up, everybody? This is Recap Rewind. I am Jay Lang, and I'm here with
NB.
Hey, girl, hey.
Hey.
It's our favorite day.
It's our favorite Friday morning ritual.
So, yeah.
This was chapter 12,
Riverdale.
Called Anatomy of a Murder.
Damn.
And we all knew this is the episode that they're going to release. Who Killed Jason Blossom. It's going to come out. Ready for the bombshell. We will get to it later in the episode. We don't want to say it just yet, just in case you guys are spoiler whatever.
Yeah.
But obviously watch the episode before you listen to our recap.
Of course, as always, as usual.
If you can. It was a pretty jam-packed episode.
They did a lot.
A lot of back and forth.
Lots of back and forth.
But the really the big meaty part of the episode was the last 7 minutes of it.
I would say definitely.
Because honestly, guys, before I was okay, we get
what's
it.
Happening?
What is going back and forth?
I
heard Veronica say what about my dad? 8 times. Girl, your dad didn't kill him. Chill. Don't. You're not in the story right now.
They were trying so hard to pull her into the story. Okay, anyway. So let's get into it. Yeah. So it cuts right into, I guess, the last episode where Jughead is basically ran away.
He dips.
And FP is arrested. So the kids go back and...
So real quick. Right from the beginning.
Yeah.
Did you ever think FP did it?
No. No, definitely not. And I even threw it to our Twitter and I sent it out, and it was a split vote between, I kind of questioned everybody and I was like, do you think FP's lying? Mm-hmm. And one of them was like, definitely not, he's innocent. Or is he telling the truth? And I said, definitely not, he's innocent. One was like, yes, it was the truth. And then one was like, he's protecting someone.
Right.
It was 68%. Everybody was like, he's protecting someone. Yeah. And then the other percent was to the one that he's lying. Yeah. Nobody said that he was telling the truth, obviously.
Right.
It's so obvious.
It's so obvious. Yeah.
He was.
And as you go through it, you're like, hey, he's an idiot. He has to be protecting someone, obviously. Right. And the only person that you could think of would be Jughead.
Yeah, it's true.
Because why would he be protecting anyone else?
Yeah, it's true.
He literally has no other family. It's his only family member.
Yeah, I mean, we can get back to that because I really want to talk a little bit more about that murder and how it happens and how FP gets really involved into it.
So let's break it down.
So we start off with the beginning of the episode. Everybody's concerned and the kids all go to their parents. Finally. After a million years, they finally go to their parents and divulge all this fucking information that they have. Hermione's going insane. She's like, Mia.
She's like, what were you doing this whole time?
She's like, I told you not to do anything.
She's like, I thought you were just clubbing.
Everyone's freaking out. They're like, we need to go to the police. We have this new information that the gun was planted in his room and whatever, blah blah blah. And the parents are like, what are you doing? You guys are crazy.
It just sounds so crazy. How are these, bro? They're in high school. Don't they have school the next morning?
Yeah, that's
what are they doing?
And that's what they were saying. They were like, yo, stop being you're not super sleaze right now. Just go. And
Alice, she was like, calm the F down.
Yeah, and they're like, you're the one that fucking told us to do something.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah, and all the parents were like, Alice. She's like, what? She's hilarious.
So it talks about all of their involvements and why they're involved. Obviously, we know that Veronica wants to do it because of her dad. She wants prove
it was honestly, she was really annoying this episode because it not just her but the writers and how they tried to keep tying her in. Dude, we get it. Maybe it wasn't him. Just have her as the helper. You don't have to have her constantly saying oh, my dad might have done it too. Even Archie was like, girl, he didn't do it. Chill.
Yeah. And the parents basically do nothing, though. That was the part of it that I was like, nothing. What?
Except for Molly Ringwald, who's a lawyer. And she's like, I got this.
We'll get to that later. So then it cuts to the condo life. And Hermione's packing up. She's like, we gotta go.
Yeah.
And Veronica's like, what's going on?
So
she's like, I can't believe you did this. We're gonna get in trouble. And your dad might get involved in
she's
this.
Like, Mom, we did nothing wrong. Her mom's like, oh, yeah? Have you seen this season? I basically forged your signature. I bribed the friggin' mayor. She's like, girl, I'm gonna go to jail. She's like, true, Mom.
She's like,
true.
we gotta go. And in between that, Betty messages Archie and she's like, I need to find Jughead. I really I'm worried about him. Archie's about to go take a nap because he's sleeping.
I love how they're always halfway asleep. Do they ever sleep? Because they're drifting off and then they're like, let me text my friends and go on a mish at 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
When I get into bed, I'm asleep now.
Yeah. And it was funny because the transition was so harsh. You didn't think that these guys were gonna storm off and try to find Jughead for 5 seconds. What? It was weird. So anyway, whatever. They all band together and they're looking for him. and they can't find him anywhere. They try to go to the train station, and he was there at some point in time.
Yeah, he was there before.
But and he goes to buy a ticket. It was really sad, actually.
His scenes were really like I was tearing up.
To go to Oregon or where the fuck his
Toledo,
mom is, Toledo. Yeah. And he calls his mom. He's like, "Yo, I got a ticket to Toledo."
Tight. That was so rude.
And he's in this phone booth. He's literally got nowhere else to go. And she's like on the phone. You don't hear her voice, but she's like basically like, you can't come.
Like, what mom says that? Like,
I was like,
it's like 1 o'clock in the morning. Your kid's at a freaking train station, obviously. Like, just be like, come, and then like go home after. Like,
and figure it out after. Yeah. What, you have literally no place for him like, to sleep.
Yeah. She's like,
is she a drug addict? Like, what's happening?
Maybe.
I hope that her character is like really fucked up, because that was a really fucked up
thing to do.
But she
has the daughter. How can she be that fucked up?
I think that's really wrong for a parent.
It's super wrong. And I felt like I was like, that's
poor
it.
Jughead.
Like, that's so literally all you say to your kid.
Yeah.
Like, just bring him over and then be like, go back to your dad now, or like whoever. He doesn't have a dad anymore.
Let's start a hashtag justice for Jughead, because that was so unfair. Really sad.
Also, his acting's like pretty good, so like he makes me want to cry.
So then he gets a ticket to Florida, because he's like,
yeah, it's the only
take
way,
me
like,
anywhere else. I'm not gonna go to Toledo anymore. And then they're like, you can't stay here because the train station is closing. Like, closing. And then they get like, Archie and Betty get there, and he's not there anymore.
Right.
And then
Veronica calls, right?
Veronica's like, hey girl, hey.
She's like, hey Archie.
Yeah, and she's like wearing her like negligee.
Yeah, just like looking on her
negligee.
couch. He's like, hey. She's like, what are you doing? You want to chat?
Yeah, and she's like, my mom is spiraling and I'm on the verge.
And he's like, oh, well, me and Betty are at the train station and we're looking for Jughead. She's like, what? She's like, you didn't even invite me, which was kind of tight. Like, they didn't even tell her.
But at the same time, it's like, just stay out of it.
Yeah.
Anyway. Then she kind of figures it out, because she's like super
obviously
smooth.
she's like smart.
She's got glasses and
she's
stuff.
Like, are you guys stupid? She's like, go to freaking Pops.
Yeah, because it's the only place that's open 24 hours.
But they were there before, like in all like fairness. So
they were, for a second. That's true. Actually, that's a good point.
Yeah, and he just wasn't there.
And then he's there sitting in a booth, and he's like pretty upset. And then they're like, "We're so sorry. Listen, I guess he didn't get this information."
No. They couldn't even text him that, apparently. They had to tell him in person.
Yeah, they're like, your dad, it was planted
like someone set him up.
And he's kind of like starting to think, he's like, maybe. But still, he's already like pretty down.
He's like, cheese. Also, his mom just told him to not come.
Yeah.
Like, I'd be more cheese about that than my dad being a murderer.
And your friends basically like betrayed you. Like, it's kind of fucked up. But anyway, so then it cuts to the police station. And it's exactly what we were assuming. The gun that was found in FP's room matches the bullets that were found in Jason's brain. And then essentially FP admits to everything.
He admits to everything. He's like, I torched the car, and
we wanted to ransom him.
Yeah, and his story like really made sense. I was like, wow, this does really like, could make sense.
Let's break down the tea a little bit, because we find out what happens at the very end of the episode.
Yeah.
But since we're talking about it now, what parts of the story do you think are true, and what parts of the story
that's hard
were very...
I mean, I really do think he helped it. I feel like he did take Jason into that room,
like,
right?
He tried to kidnap him,
because at the end of the day, like, it happened in a serpent bar,
right?
So like, how would the person that killed Jason like go to the bar if it wasn't for the serpents?
But do you think that he did what he did what he was gonna do? Like, he
cleaned it up. Cleaned up the body, you mean?
No, not even that part. Like, all that whole thing about, let me decide to like kidnap this kid, put him up for ransom, get Clifford Blossom to give me money, all those things that he said he was gonna do.
Or so we said it. Clifford Blossom we said it.
No, I didn't say it. No, yeah.
So Clifford Blossom.
Yeah, but he said that he's like, I called him and then he didn't, so then we killed him and then we threw his body into the ocean, like the water after.
Oh, I think
like that's when he like admits it, right?
Yeah.
So you think that he did put up the ransom?
Not maybe the ransom, but I think he was still maybe,
because that part of the story was pretty compelling. He was
because think about it, right? He in his mind, he still thinks that Jason will make it out alive. So to him, it's not really a bad thing for FP. Like, he's like, I'll make money and I'll tell this kid to go back home. Like, so in his mind, it's all like, okay. It's not like he had a plan to kill Jason.
He made that connection, and then with the fact that he had
shit just went really bad.
Red hair and stuff like that, and he was like, oh, he's a Blossom. He's got money. Let me just.
That makes sense to me. Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, and so I also.
There's a big difference from like money to murder, and I feel like FP didn't see the whole murder thing happening. But
what do you guys think? Tweet us while you're listening to our podcast and let us know, do you guys think that at that point in time FP was was involved in at least a ransom with Jason.
I think so. I think it makes sense. I think the stories just like work.
Yeah.
Because how would the murderer actually like take him and put him there, and like all those little things that happen. But it was interesting when the sheriff was like asking him, he's like, so that means you like went to my house and like took all the evidence too, right?
And he's like, yup.
He's like, yeah, I did that too.
Yeah.
And it's like, that was like the moment where you're like, okay, this guy's just like bullshitting right now.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't even know what he's saying.
He's just going along with it. Then it cuts to Thornhill, and they're having brekkie, and the Blossoms and Mr. Blossom's fake wig.
But I think before that, the kids come to the sheriff, the police department, right?
No, that happened a little later, I think. No, or maybe it does.
Yeah, because they told him, they're like, he didn't do it, he got framed or whatever, and then he's like,
but why
he
did
just
he
admitted
confess?
to it.
Yeah, that's true.
So
yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
So
that was it. Like, he admitted. Now he's like gonna get locked up.
Yeah, it's done. So then brekkie at Thornhill, and the Blossoms are just sitting down for breakfast, and Mr. Blossom's like wig is like even more turned up. Like, I saw it like right away. I was like, how did we not book this from time?
I know. Every time I'm like, I can't believe we like didn't notice this from before.
I mean, we did, but we didn't like.
No, but I honestly didn't think it was. I don't know. I just didn't think anything of it. I would just be like, this guy's hair is like really weird. It like
it's
sits
Trump
weird.
Hair,
yeah. And now I'm just like, oh my god, like you wear wigs.
It's tripping me out. And then Polly comes down the stairs, and they like tell her like, we have great news. This guy is found. The killer. We found him. We're good to go.
Cool. We have peace now.
And like Cheryl and her like exchanging like weird looks. She's like, oh, but so it wasn't. Okay, cool. Like, it was very like she was like gonna say something.
Who was gonna say something?
Like Polly at some point, I think she was like gonna accuse them, but like, why was she? Anyway, whatever. She like obviously still thinks it's kind of sketchy. So before we get any deeper,
the episode started. Who did you think killed? Who was your prediction for Jason's killer?
Before the episode started.
Yeah.
I think I don't know. I think at that point in time, I completely even lost all of my
predictions
wonder and predictions to it. I think we were like fighting between Cheryl and
I think
we even said Polly at one point in time.
I think for me it was Cheryl. But no, I wasn't convinced still. I was like, I think it's Cheryl, because like that would be the most tragic and cool thing to see. But I'm like,
But you also said that
I didn't know it was
they made it almost too obvious last
they
episode.
They were like, and even this episode there was a promo of her face and like tears coming down, and I'm like, okay, are they trying to be like, this girl did it, or like, you know, like it's like, but anyways, whatever. So okay, so we didn't really have
for me I was like, I don't know, I don't really know. I'm not really sure.
Like, let's just watch this unfold.
Exactly. Then it cuts to the next. Then they're at the cafeteria. They're at school. And you know, Betty's like really trying to put all the pieces together, and she's like, no, I don't think the FP did it. He didn't do it. The kids are still like believing because
they get to school and they're like, okay, so like FP I guess did it, like he admitted it.
And then she was like, no, but then she's like,
no, I don't believe that.
I don't believe it at all. She's like, maybe he's protecting someone, which is like exactly what he's doing, obviously. And then Betty says something about Joaquin. And
oh my god,
Kevin
got
lost
pissed.
his shit.
He's like, don't be talking about my man.
He's like, do not drag my boyfriend Joaquin into that. And so then Jugs like walks through. I guess
I love how they always do this. They're like, oh my god. And you're like, okay, who could it be now?
It's Jughead.
It's like Jason from the dead. Like, who can it be? So it's like, yeah, it's Juggy.
Everyone's like, pss, 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 pss.
Yeah.
And
Juggy walks over to Cheryl.
And then she's like
crying.
Sorry about it. He said, I'm sorry.
And
then she like,
dude, I honestly, I was like, hug him, please hug him.
And she's like,
she like smacks his face up and then like walks away.
And then she like flips her hair. She flips her. Don't forget, she flips her hair.
She like attacked him too. She like lunged onto him.
Yeah, and then
like people have to come and like break it up.
Yeah, and then he gets sent to the office because of that interaction, which is so stupid. Yeah. And then Betty chases after Cheryl, and he's like, it's not his fault, and she's like, I didn't even touch him, and I'm like,
girl, you like legit like jumped on him with your friggin' hair.
Like, did no one put that on Snapchat? Anyway, so I think the rest of the school episode is kind of weird. I think it turns out that Jughead gets kicked out. Is that what happens?
I don't think he got kicked out, but I think he was warning everyone that like Jughead might like do something, like either to himself or to like to the kids.
Oh, okay.
So I think when Fred mentions it, Fred's like, maybe he should be homeschooled like from now on.
Oh.
I think he says it, or maybe Weatherby says it. No, I think Fred said it.
Okay.
Like he's like, maybe a home option is better for him or something.
Yeah. So then that's the last scene that I have. The next scene that I have is at the Archie household, at the Andrews household, and Fred is basically like running.
First of all, you know Jughead's in your house. You're like fully screaming in the kitchen about this poor kid.
I was like, I don't understand why people have public conversations about other people while they're like literally in the same vicinity of them. Yeah. So yeah, he basically says like, maybe you shouldn't be hanging around Jughead. Maybe you should be going to Chicago. And then Archie's like, what the F are you talking about? Clearly you have like some like deep issues about like me leaving.
Like, that was never my choice, Dad.
That's exactly how he says it. And so anyway, he's like, yeah, maybe it's best that like we leave the Joneses out of this because obviously they're
always like trouble. There's always trouble.
And clearly Jughead's like, yo, what the fuck? So then he like walks
I'm gonna
out.
Sleep in the garage tonight. Yeah. I was like, okay.
And then Archie's like, Dad, what'd you do that for? And then Fred's like, oh, what do we do?
Fred's just like can't get his shit together with anyone.
Yeah, he's like, sorry about it.
His freaking wives leave him. His like son wants to leave him.
Jughead, even the homeless person wants to leave him.
Seriously.
So then it cuts to the Cooper household.
Oh my god, this scene, like Alice is the MVP of the season. She kills me.
I was dying.
She kills me.
Yeah, so there's
like
there's
Betty's
a noise
like in her bed.
Yeah.
She's like lurking on her bed. Everyone's like lurking on their beds. She's like texting or like on like Snapchat. I don't know what she's doing.
Yeah.
She's like, she hears like lurking, like literally like it was like on the closed captioning. It was like like creeping, like cranking, like lurking. Lurking noises.
And then so
she gets up.
Yeah,
she's
she
like,
gets up. She goes downstairs, and then she bumps into her mom downstairs, and her mom's like, shh.
Her mom's like, yo, Betty, I got my gun. Let's go. She's like, Mom, what are you doing?
Like, don't worry about it. She's like, I got this. We're gonna like totally stealth spy this.
So she walks down the stairs holding this massive pistol in her hand with her daughter behind her, by the way. Like, hello, like firearm safety.
Yeah.
She goes downstairs. She sees like a shadow.
Yeah.
And she clicks the gun. So like she's ready to legit shoot.
Pop a cap.
And like, how do you not know that's your husband from the back? Like, girl, like, don't you know that ass? I guess
it's dark, but whatever. But don't you know that ass?
He like turns around. She's like, how?
And like the music like cuts too.
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah.
Like, it goes
I feel
back
like Hal's the best name to like scream out.
Hal. What the fuck, Hal?
Yeah, like what the fuck, Hal?
Okay.
So then
this is the part of the episode.
Then he's like there. He's like, oh, sorry, I was looking at my files.
I was looking for something in the room without telling you. So this is the part of the episode that like really
did you like
upset me.
Yeah.
It made me extremely
I was like
angry.
Meh.
So guys, Hal spills the tea
all over that kitchen table.
All over the kitchen table, and he's like, listen. So we all know that there is this divide between the Coopers and the Blossoms.
First of all, I had they were like grandpappy
Blossom and Grandpappy Cooper. They were
brothers.
What?
So he said it in another way. He didn't just kill him because he was like enemies. It's because they were like blood.
Yeah,
or something like.
Or he was like he was a Blossom as your grandfather was a Blossom as well, and we're like, what?
And then Alice is like, what the fuck? I didn't know that shit.
Yeah. You guys have been married for like X amount of years.
That's what I mean. It's like, just say the truth. Like, why are you like hiding until this point?
Here's my situation. Where was this information? How? What the fuck?
First of all, if you saw your daughter dating her cousin, the first thing you go do is tell your freaking daughter that's her freaking third cousin. Look how fast she'll run the other way. So why didn't you do that, you idiot, from the beginning? You waited till this man knocked her up. Then you still didn't say it. Yeah. You like did some shady shit trying to almost like abort the baby. Yeah. You still didn't say it. Your life fell apart. You still didn't say it.
You're kicked out of your house.
You still didn't say it. Then the files like could go back to you, so now you say it.
Like, wow.
Like you're Hal. You're an idiot. You're an idiot.
You're a failure.
You're an idiot, Hal.
How are you holding on this for this information
like,
for this long?
So stupid. And also, I just feel like in the realm of the show, it kind of feels stupid too.
I was extremely upset about this whole like.
Because you know what? In the situation. End, it didn't really matter. Like, when you get to the end, I was like, so what did that all matter for? Like, maybe I'll play a part like later on, but like,
you know what it was?
I didn't really need that part of the story.
You know what it was?
Like, now I'm just creeped out of Polly's baby. Like, I don't want that baby to be born now. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's
weird.
And here's the thing too. I think that it was Hal was a very unliked character. Like after he was like abort. Yeah. And I think this was supposed to be like a semblance of a saving grace for
like
that
his
character,
justification
and
for
to
it.
bring like the Coopers back together for next season. But I was like, yo, that is the stupidest thing.
Like as soon as he knew, like seriously, as soon as he knew that Polly was dating Jason, he could have said it. He he could have said to her, look, I think you might be related, like, don't do it. And she wouldn't have done it. She wouldn't have done it. Like, all this could have been freaking avoided, you idiot.
Or it would be like some backwoods, you know, like freaking story about like cousins falling in love with each other, but then like
they wouldn't know, like, she wouldn't have let him like knock her up.
Like, it was just so gross. It was just so stupid. I was like, that was essential information that everyone probably needed to know, including your wife. I mean, come on. It drove me crazy. So
he was like, his last name wasn't Cooper, it was Blossom.
She's like, I'm a Blossom. And then and then even Betty like trips out. She's like, I'm a Blossom. She like freaked out. She's like, am I blonde even? What's happening? We find out like, essentially it goes back to the baby. The baby's an incest baby.
Yeah, which is like, weird. Like,
you guys ruined it for me.
Yeah, like, it left a very weird like taste in like a lot of these other side stories that are gonna come out next season. But I'm like, like, I don't. That's a weird thing. Like, it's like her third cousin.
I'm waiting for like season 2 to have like one incest joke, and I'm not gonna be okay.
Well,
with
they already said it because she's having twins. The mom's like, haha, very Blossom of you.
Oh,
like that's gross. But like. Yeah, I guess like that still made sense though, even if they weren't incest. So I didn't get that.
Anyway, so they're like,
but still, like,
so then they all like jump together.
Because the mom knew too, right? Like the other side knew too.
Yeah, and then they all band together, and then they're like,
And why didn't they do this from the beginning? All of a sudden, they're like a freaking happy family. They're like barging into the Blossom's house. He's like, I want my daughter back now. I'm like, okay, you're in episode 12. This could happen in like episode 7.
This is, now you're going to go and support your daughter?
Yeah.
Like all this time.
And you knew how. You knew the whole time they were third cousins.
You only want to do it because you want to save your own ass. Good job. What a dick.
So then like, they grab Polly.
Because he does also admit he's the one that took all the evidence from the police
From the
station.
sheriff's house,
so, like,
So it was him.
Yeah. So then it adds more to like that whole question of like Betty's like, but then why would FP even admit to that?
The only person who's actually looking up for FP is Betty, because she's like, wait a minute, he's lying then. He didn't like do this. But then like Allison like Hal are like, okay, whatever, like at least we're safe.
At least we're safe. Yeah. So then they storm into Thornhill like in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
And they're like, you guys are hiding incest. You are hiding, like, that's essentially what happened.
Was he wearing his wig, Clifford?
Yeah, I think so.
He was,
I don't remember. Probably, most likely. And Polly, there was one point in time where she's like, Mom, Dad, what are you guys doing here? And she's like, you're coming home with us right now. And she's like, they're like, you have an incest baby. And she like looks down at her stomach.
Yeah. She's like, what's inside of me? This poor girl is so useless.
I don't understand how everybody's reacting the way they're reacting in this episode. Like,
well, how did you want her to react though? Like, more like freak out.
Like freak the fuck out. I mean, that's some Brahm drop kind of information. Like, you're having sex with your cousin. All she does is
like look down.
I mean, her face was perfect. Like, she was like, oh my god, but at the same time she's like, okay, I'm gonna leave too with these fucking crazy people who like, were holding a secret from me all this time.
Yeah, like her dad.
Can we bury Hal? Like, what's happening right now?
Was Cheryl surprised? I forgot what her face looked like.
Was she there? Did
she was on the stairs too.
Oh,
yeah.
okay, so
they all woke up at the same time.
Okay, guys.
You would think in that house you would not even hear the door knocking.
You would also think in that particular mansion that like they wouldn't even allow people to come.
I was gonna say like the gates.
10 o'clock at night. Yeah. What the hell's happening? Anyway, whatever. So they grab Polly and Betty's like, or I think Betty and Mrs. Blossom have like an exchange.
Yeah, which was really weird. I noted that down too. I was
you don't know what you're messing with, bitch. And then she's like, you don't know what you're messing with, bitch.
Yeah, because it was so awkward because like everyone else was like talking and Betty like low-key, she's like, I know what you're gonna do. And then the freaking mom's like, watch what you're saying. I'm like, why are you yelling at this 16-year-old girl? Like, chill the fuck out. And then like she like grabbed her after.
Yeah,
I'm like, yo, they're having like beef right now.
And Betty's like, don't fuck with me.
Like on the side. Yeah. It was so, like, it was very random. I was like,
hey, Arthur Clench. Yeah. And then
by the way, I love Alice's comment when they walk in. Yeah. Because the Clifford was like, it's midnight. He's like, what are you guys doing here? She's like, I don't care what you guys doing. Your witching hour over here at Thornhill. She just like throws like little like digs. It's so funny.
She has a really witty script, like the way they write her. And then it cuts to Pop standing the next morning, and Mama Archie, Miss Andrews, Molly Ringwald, is like pretending to be.
She's like lawyering her life now. She's like got her files.
Literally, that was her one and only role in this entire fucking like arc. Is like that she pretends to be FP's lawyer, so then she can get more information on like what the hell's happening. Yeah. And
so essentially, what happens is like she's like, oh, like
she's telling Archie this.
Yeah. She's like, he got to do one call, and his one call was Joaquin. Yeah. So like, go check that man's out.
And then Jugs is she basically says, and then she also says to Jugs like, listen, maybe you should just talk to your dad. Like this is all like pretty messy shit.
Trying to like so ask him like, why is he lying?
Just say goodbye. Essentially, she's like, this is pretty bad.
Because if it goes into like arraignment, she goes, you'll never see him again. So like, just do it now.
Yeah. So then he does. He goes to the jail. Jugs goes to the jail, and then FP's like pissed. He's like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, I did it. Like, get away from me. You never come here ever again. And that last thing that he says to him, he's like, never come back here again. He's like looking through the bars, and like Jughead's like pretty upset, but then he like takes like a second look.
Yeah.
And he like holds his face, and then he's like, okay, bye. And then he like dips.
Yeah. So you're like, okay, he got something there.
And then at that point in time, he like calls Betty, I think, and he's like, yo, I'm pretty sure my dad didn't do it. He like looked at me pretty strong.
Like, I was like, he gave me that look. And I was like, okay, daddy, you didn't do it.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. He's like, I'm pretty sure from that one and only look, not the evidence, that my dad is innocent.
Just like that one look.
Yeah. Then it cut to the lodge residence, and Veronica and Archie are like talking real close up.
Like, like so chill the F out. Close. Like, what are you guys doing
they're like, what's happening with Jughead?
And then
like,
again, she's like, do you think my daddy did it? Do you think my daddy hired someone to kill that man? I'm like, okay, Veronica, no. Your dad is not in this picture right now. Go to sleep. Like, go.
She's like, but if FP did it, does that mean that my dad is
still involved? And Archie's like, this is too many questions for me. I don't know what I'm doing.
She's like, can we have sex now? So that he's like, we need to investigate more, and then it cuts to like the next scene, and then they're in the garage.
So weird. The promos always make it look like there's something so completely different happening. Like in that shot, they're like, watch what happens between Archie and Veronica.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, okay, they're gonna like make out. Like their relationship's gonna get like turned up. And literally nothing happened.
They were like so close to each other.
But did you notice how when they were in the cafeteria back in the beginning, he like held her hand under the table? Yeah. What was up with that?
I think it was just a low key like hold,
like hand, supporting, like that's like pretty like a fish.
But like, also like yo wink, yo wink. Meet me in the chemistry room later. We know that's what he wants.
But I love how like their relationship is so sexualized, and like Betty and Jughead is just like they're so cute.
And like
like you already feel like nothing's happened, but like you already feel it. Like
yeah, it's so funny. We're all very excited about that part of it, I guess. So then it cuts to the garage, and I guess like Joaquin's just chilling, and he like divulges all this information. Who's there? Is
last hour?
Is it Betty, Jughead, Kevin? Is that it?
I think it was all of them. No,
I don't think it was. I think Archie and Veronica are still like doing whatever they're doing. Oh. So I think it's just the three of them.
Yeah.
So then he's telling them, but like Kevin's like basically grilling him. He's like,
yeah, Kevin's like at this point Kevin's pissed, which is good because I didn't want him to be on that guy's side.
Yeah. And then so he divulges information. He's like, listen, I got to like I forgot what they called it, the bar,
like the Wyatt bar or something,
and
the white bar.
We went to the basement, which is like always like on lockdown, like no one's ever allowed down there. And FP called me, and there was a body, and it was Jason's body. He was shot in the head, and we need to clean it up. He's like, I didn't ask any questions, but like I basically took the body, put it into the freezer, and then we like threw it into the water after. Like we did all that. We did it, stuff.
Yeah.
Which is kind of weird because if you really think about it, he goes to like hook up with Joaquin. Oh no, that was Moose.
Yeah.
Never mind. Slash that.
Moosey.
Okay. He like tries to hook up with Moose like from time, and then that's where they find the body. And then so like for sure FP's involved in this whole situation. That's when we find out that for sure, based on second
like I still think FP
that, like,
provided the location. Like he had to clean it.
I mean, he cleaned up the mess.
He cleaned it up.
He was a part of the murder.
He had to.
So then he's like, you need to talk to this other guy, Mustang, who maybe could have been involved.
He'll know more.
So then they're like, okay, maybe. And then they have to go to this like random hotel where Mustang is.
Yeah.
And then he's like,
you know which motel it looked like?
The one from Bates Motel.
Yes. Yeah. Oh my God. You totally got it. The other motel. Yeah. The one that like Kayla was staying at and like Norman. I think it's the same one. Yeah. Because they film in Vancouver, right? So they must use the same sets and locations. Side note.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's so funny you noticed that. Yeah.
So I think this is the point in time where Jugs is calling Betty. So I don't think they're together at this point. So it must only be
Veronica was there. Archie was there.
Yes.
And Jughead.
Yeah. Okay, that was
First of all, okay, so let's do the scene. So they walk up to the room.
They go into the room.
So Joaquin like opens the door for them. He's like, okay, like he must be in here somewhere. Yeah. They all walk in. There's like all this shit everywhere in the room. It's gross. And then I think Joaquin walks into the bathroom first.
No, I think Archie finds the body.
Oh, it's Archie. So they see the body in the bathtub with like needles in his arm.
Yeah.
And Archie's like, oh shit. And Veronica's like, oh my God. And I'm like, guys, you guys are 16-year-old kids. Seeing that would legit fuck you up. Do you understand? Like, you would probably throw up in that instant. There's a dead body in front of you. Like, can they get to that level of like realism a little bit?
These kids,
because they're still kids.
Yeah,
like they just saw a guy dead in a bathtub with a needle in his arm.
Yeah, they're like, oh,
that's pretty fucked
bad.
up.
Yeah, they're like, okay, let me just call my parents, and then
so they call their parents.
But essentially, before that happens, Kevin and Joaquin have to dip because Joaquin's like, I can't be here though. Like,
I can't be seen here. Yeah.
So he dips, and then they call their parents, and then
the sheriff comes.
Yeah, the sheriff comes, and then Fred and Hermione like lose their fucking shit because I would too. So yeah, they're losing their shit on the kids. They're like, what the hell are you guys doing here? We told you to like stop your life.
Like, stop this.
What are you doing? And then Fred like says something again, and he's like, I'm just doing this to protect you, to Archie. And then like Archie starts crying. He's like, do you understand me? I just don't want you to like do this again. Like, don't go to like a druggie's house. Like, it's fair enough, you know? And then Archie's like, okay. And then it cuts to the lodge residence again, and Hermione like starts fucking bawling out of nowhere.
Yeah, she like breaks down.
And then she's like,
so Mama? Wait, so before that all that happens is the sheriff shows up at the motel.
Yeah.
And he gives the bag, right? He finds a bag of money.
He finds a bag with Hermione's
which was really stupid because he's like, it was said like HL. Yeah. And he's like, Hermione, why are your initials here? Like, there's no other person that it could be. Yeah. There's no other person with HL. No other person in the whole fucking town. No, it has to be her right in front of you. And like that was stupid to me a little bit. Like he was like sleuthing. He didn't even like ask like, I wonder what whose bag could be. Like no. Yeah. He's like, HL, it's you.
And then Veronica covers for her.
Yeah.
And maybe is that why she started crying in the room?
She was like, no, it's Hiram Lodge. And he's like, and she's like, because my daddy had business with the serpent. And then the mom's like, shut up, like stop talking. Then they got home and then she breaks down because she's like, all of this shit's like coming out. Like, we're gonna get arrested.
Like, and the Veronica's like, well, sorry. And then it cuts to the bus stop and Joaquin saying goodbye to Kev.
He's like, bye.
Cute little scene.
Yeah.
It was nice.
That's right.
And then he's like, I got something to tell you though.
Yeah, he's like walking up the stairs. He's like, by the way.
Check the jacket. I don't even think he said check the jacket. He said like, go find this box in the middle of nowhere.
Oh, okay.
And then they're like, okay, cool. Then it cuts to Thornhill real quick. And Cheryl's like, Mommy, what happened to Jason?
Like
what really happened?
Like, why did he want to leave us?
Yeah. So then she's like, what was Jason really running from? Her mom like lost her fucking shit.
She's like, was he running from you, Mom, or Dad?
Yeah.
She's like, do you want to know what he was running from?
You think your dad killed your
brother? Yeah, like she pulls her into the farm area and like opens the barn door.
And then she's like, it's the maple syrup.
She's like, the maple syrup. I'm like, whoa, this is really weird.
I was like, why is maple syrup?
Is there like drugs hidden there? Like, what's going on?
Why was maple syrup?
She's like, drown yourself in maple syrup.
I know, it was really weird.
Okay, you're like a commercial for maple syrup right now.
This whole
very
show
weird.
is like maple
but
syrup.
I think having watched the end, I'm like, okay, I think she's falling apart too. Like she's losing her shit.
Yeah, I mean, obviously. Yeah. But yeah, did you think it was drugs? Like in the beginning of the episode, like when she was like, "Yo, it's drugs in that room in that cellar."
In what cellar?
Like when she opened up the farm door.
Was it drugs?
No, it was maple syrup.
No, I did. I thought it was gonna be drugs.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm like, can't be maple syrup. Like, what the fuck? It's just maple syrup. And then it was literally just maple syrup. Yeah. And I'm like, what? So he's running away from maple syrup? Yeah. Like, it was weird. It was very weird.
It's a sticky situation.
Yeah.
Okay. Then it cuts to school. And Alice is still working it out.
She's like there. She's like, oh, you guys are lurking over here.
She's like, hey, guys. So we have all this stuff. FP like is this guy got OD'd. And
they're like knocking everyone out off
and then
the wall,
she's like,
who didn't do it.
Like, but this is all too perfect. And I'm like,
it's all tied up in a bow.
I was like, Alice is obviously like booking everything. She like understands that like there's something
it's too perfect
about the story.
It's like making a murderer. It was just too perfect.
So yeah, and then yeah. And so Joaquin does lead them to the jacket that's in the sign.
Yeah, so they go to like the sign area and like they see like a little black bag on the floor and Jughead's like, okay, this must be it.
And then they find Jason.
I don't know how the hell they found that black bag under all those trees and branches in the darkness. But okay, they found it.
They found it. And then
the jacket wasn't even wet. It was like perfectly in
perfect condition. Yeah. And it's Jason's jacket, obviously. Yeah. And then they go to like some random like shed.
I thought it was a trailer, but maybe not.
Yeah, I don't know where they were.
It looked like the trailer, but I didn't know where they were.
Yeah, so then they're all trying to like figure it out. So now it's all of them together, right? Like including
it's Jughead. All like Betty's there. Everyone's there now.
Full team.
Yeah.
And so
they're like, check the bag, check the jacket.
Betty's like, wait 1 second, put this jacket on, Archie.
Yeah.
And then
he's like, what the hell? This is really creepy, Betty.
And then
she's like, turn around for me.
And then she like starts like patting him down. And then she's like, I always use my chapstick in my pockets.
She's like, wait, there's a hole in the pocket.
Yeah.
And then she's like, I always use my chapsticks in like holes.
Yeah.
And then Veronica's like, I lose my Montclair's. Like, where did you come from? Again.
Like side eye. What are you doing here right now? And so then they find a USB.
So like she follows like the whole, I guess, of like where it goes. Yeah. And it goes like all. This was really cool, like the way they did it. And it goes all the way through like the jacket, like the seam of the bottom, and they found a USB. Mm-hmm. And she's like, "Oh my god!"
Oh my god!
So they go like quickly to Archie's,
and then they
pop that sucker in.
They watch it. No, I think they watch it like exactly where they are.
No, because later they're in Archie's garage because they needed a laptop.
Maybe they were in Archie's garage the entire time.
Maybe you're right. Yeah.
The place, all those places look so ambiguous. Yeah. So anyway, they watch this video, and then like Betty starts crying. And like everyone's like, oh,
for a second I thought it was her.
Yeah, I was like, yo,
is it her like killing him?
Was she like realizing it?
It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it was like too much. Yeah, and then so she calls somebody. And she's like, get out now.
And
then it turns out to be Cheryl, and Cheryl's like, I understand. Thank you very much. Goodbye. And then she like turns off the phone. She goes down for dinner. She like is about to sit down.
Goes to her mom's like side,
and then her dad's like, hey, what are you doing? And then she's like, you did a bad thing, Daddy. And then it cuts to the next scene. And then it all kind of happens pretty quickly. Like we see the video after.
Yeah, so once Alice gives it to the sheriff, that's when we sort of see it. They show clips of that moment of the camera.
Yeah.
Which, what a perfect camera to have there.
Yeah, and so it reveals that dun 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 dun.
But why wouldn't FP keep the video?
Why wouldn't he?
Wouldn't he? Because like that's proof that he didn't kill Jason.
Yeah, I feel like his
like where was the USB from? Who recorded it? Who took the video clip? Like
his motivation was really stupid.
He was really if that's what actually happened, he played this really dumb.
That's why I wanted to bring it back. Because I feel like his reasoning behind it is stupid.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, sorry. So
then he admits. So at this point in time, I think Jughead goes back to narrating the story, and he's like, "Yeah, we later find out that my father was trying to just protect me, and this is what he
Clifford
did."
Told him like if he doesn't,
was gonna threaten him. Like if he does this, then the same thing's gonna happen to Jughead, and so he like took the fall for FP took the fall for it, and then it cuts to like the slow motion scene of like Jughead arguing with the sheriff, being like, "Get my dad out of there," but he's like, "Yo," but he was still like a full out accessory. He legit like did everything else, so like he's gonna be in here for a while. Yeah, he's gonna be in there for a while, and so we didn't even talk about the video, but. So in the video, it shows Jason tied up, and then it shows Clifford rolling up, and then taking the ring back from Jason, and then shoots him in the motherfucking head, point fucking blank.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Cold as ice.
Yeah, like a father and a son. Like wow.
Yo. And so then we like that part of the story gets wrapped up, and then as soon as they find out about this, they take it to Alice Cooper, who's super sleuth extraordinaire, and she's like, you guys need to see this in the tapes or whatever. The sheriff, sorry. And then the sheriff like goes to the Thornhill, and by the time they get there,
I kind of had a feeling.
By the time they get there, like they like point
to the farm,
like, the stable. I thought.
Do you think they knew
they were
that
gonna like dip? Like
I know, me too. I'm like, oh, he's not even there anymore.
Like,
he ran away.
They're gonna protect him.
Yeah.
But then like he was in
do you think they knew
about
what he did in the stable, or do you think they... So they get to the stable, the cops.
They get to the stable.
They open the door.
And he's hanging.
He killed himself.
Clifford killed himself.
Unless
did he?
They killed him.
And then, my God. And then Veronica, like it all cuts to all these like different ones, and then like, so I'll just get through all those. Veronica rolls in. She's like, "What a day!" She's like so exhausted emotionally because she literally saw 2 people dying at one time, in one day. And then her mom's like, "Things are gonna be great. Your daddy's coming back soon." Yeah. She's like, "See you in season 2." And then Archie tells his mom, Molly Ringwald, "I can't go with you." So
like, could she not have waited like another day for this shit to like...
I love how Archie was
calm
like,
down.
"My friends need me." Like that was his excuse. Like he's like, "My friends need me.
Cute.
I don't care that it's fucking dangerous in the city." And literally,
my friends need me.
I saw 2 dead bodies today, but sure, I'm down to stay here for my friends.
Yeah.
So by Molly Ringwald, she's like, "Miss you. Hope you don't die in the next season." And then, so that's why I brought back that whole thing about drugs. And when you saw the stable, you saw that shot, right?
Like in the barn.
Yeah.
What was that?
It's drugs.
Where?
There were drugs inside of the containers.
That's what I thought. I was like, wait, so now there is drugs?
Yeah.
I was so confused.
Yeah, okay. So it was funny because even when you said it like earlier, I was like, oh, I wonder if she like is like waiting to the end of the episode to tell
So there are drugs in here. Was that what the mom was talking about?
Yeah. So I guess she did tell that to Cheryl. She was like, "It's maple syrup and drugs in maple syrup."
Okay, like she could have said that. She literally just says maple syrup.
I mean, maybe she does tell her, but like we don't see it.
Okay, but that's not fair.
Yeah, I mean, what are you gonna do? It's a television show. And that's the episode. That is the end of the episode. We find out all these things.
So who are they dealing the drugs to like the serpents?
So my understanding is that there is a closer involvement with the serpents than we assume.
Okay.
And that is why FP is like, quote unquote, protecting him. But I don't know.
I still don't get it.
Very fishy. So let's cut back to FP real quick, because like there's a lot of like real stupid questions, and I wonder why. He's the one that had the USB in the first place, so he had the recording. Yeah.
So he knew it was there.
He had the recording the entire time.
Quick thing, there's an electronic device in a jacket.
Yeah.
And you know that it rains all the time in Riverdale. Why would you tell them to leave the jacket in a bag outside?
Yeah.
When that is your literally only hope for freedom. Stupid. That was stupid. I'm sorry. Now I'm like seeing all the holes. Like,
okay,
it could have been in a bank deposit or something. Like,
and this is a question to the people who only watched it on Netflix, because I watched the promo last week and we were able to see that they watch a video on a laptop. Yeah. So I was waiting for some sort of like CD or USB to show up. I want to know, to the rest of the audience who haven't seen it, like who didn't see that promo, did you guys even expect us to get that reveal from a jacket in a pocket in a USB? You know what? I'm gonna be real.
I forgot that happened last week. I forgot about the promo. Like I feel like I remembered it happening, but like it didn't click that they needed a CD or a USB to watch it. Okay. So I really wasn't even thinking of that.
So you thought it made sense the way it all kind of lined up. Yeah. Like the jacket was gonna have something in it, and
I thought like it would have a key that led to something else. That's what I mean. Like a USB in a jacket in a bag in the rain is like pretty dumb to me, if you ask me. Like, it's stupid. But sure, okay, they found the USB, and I have that same USB, and it's tiny as fuck. So I'm surprised it didn't get lost.
It did get lost.
Yeah, it did.
Back of the jacket. So yeah, my question was like, you had all this like you had literal evidence against Clifford Blossom.
That's what I'm saying. Like, what were you doing?
Why did you?
Remember, because he's like, this is for after. This is for this is evidence. Safety. Like safety from what? Just do it now.
Yeah, just do it now. But I guess at that point in time, he was hoping that it wasn't going to get out.
And also, like, because it could incriminate him too, right?
But he's in jail now. Yeah. So what's the point?
Yeah.
But then I guess he's like, if you show anybody that tape, then I'm gonna make sure, if you don't take the fall for it, then I'm gonna kill Jughead.
Maybe.
I guess that makes sense. I guess a little bit.
That's stupid though.
But he's already fucked.
But then, like, what did FP get out of anything then? Like, what did he get from any of this?
Yeah. I don't understand.
Like, then why? Yeah.
And also, like, a literal murderer is out there who can hurt your son. So
yeah.
What are you gonna let him just like slide? So yeah, what were your other thoughts?
No, I didn't understand it.
It was weird.
It was weird. Having Clifford be the murderer, I'm not surprised. I'm not like shocked AF.
Do you feel like it was too obvious?
Not that it was too obvious, but as the episode was even moving forward, I'm like, it really can't be anyone else. Like, it can't be any of the kids.
No.
It can't be Hal. Like, that doesn't make sense. It can't be like Veronica's dad. 'Cause I'm like, that's too extra right now.
But that's what I mean.
So I'm like, it does. Like,
but that's what I mean. In that particular sense, do you feel like it was such an obvious answer? Like,
from the beginning, you mean?
Yeah, from the beginning. Like, I literally looked.
Maybe.
I looked we looked every other corner.
Like Kevin.
We looked at fucking Kevin.
Yeah.
And sorry.
You're right.
And like, I think we clocked him from time. Like, we clocked Clifford Blossom from time and said like he's got something to do with this. I think because
they were always so shady.
Like,
they always showed them being so fucking shady.
Yeah,
it was like too obvious. It was like, okay, they can't be the killers.
Yeah, and our poll on Twitter also was like, yeah, obviously it was him.
It was him.
Entire time,
and I think what's not fair is that I always assume that if he killed him, the mom killed him too.
Yeah,
like that the mom was in on it.
Yeah.
And I could never believe that the mom would want that she would kill Jason.
Right.
And she obviously didn't know that he did it. So like, I'm like, oh, true. Like, she didn't know he did it on his own.
Right.
So yeah.
So that
I still don't understand why he would kill his son.
Yeah,
like that to me sounds stupid. Like, what reason did you have? Because he wanted to run away with his girlfriend. Like, okay, like give the money, he'll come back in a year. Like, why did you kill him? Like, it's a little drastic.
And like kill him point blank
by
your own hands. Like, you didn't even
say,
like,
you didn't even say like FPU do it. Like, I want to kill him. Like, that's fucked
you're
up.
Like, let me find him and then let me kill him. Like, holy shit, that's pretty dark.
Yeah.
So leads to my next question. Do you believe that Miss Blossom and Cheryl have anything to do with Clifford's murder?
They might, and it might lead to the next plot line in the next season.
Yeah, I think that they were involved.
Involved in what?
As soon as I saw his body hanging, I was like, they murdered him
from like anger.
Yeah, 100%.
For sure, I could see that.
Like,
or I could see him killing himself too.
Yeah,
I feel like he's a very cowardice man. Like, I feel like he can't even deal with that shit.
But whether like after dinner, he was like, I'm gonna go to the stable. I'm gonna kill myself.
That's why that's what I don't understand. Like, how it happened, because they did confront him.
Yeah,
and they knew that he did it. Yeah, and so I can't see them being like, okay, go to the stable and like, wait for the cops.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I can't see that happening.
Yeah,
so I could see that, which I'm down for. I'm like, go kill him. Good.
Yeah, I think he deserves it. Like, he literally killed his son.
Yeah,
like, your son. Like, what the fuck? This is so crazy.
Yeah.
So that kind of wraps up the entire episode. Are there any other burning questions that you can think of? Anything else that was like kind of like stood out for you? I think we covered pretty much everything, guys.
Yeah, and like at the same time, a lot of stuff happened, but a lot of stuff didn't happen. I don't know. Like, I'm curious to see how they're gonna finish off the season. Yeah, because now the big reveal has happened in episode 12. The murder's done. Now, how are we gonna sort of end off these other stories and recover from what just happened too?
KP, like tweeted last night, and he was like, "You think that was crazy?"
Oh,
KJ. Sorry, what? I'm like, hear me thinking that I'm like, I know every one of their names. I was like,
is that FP and someone else?
KJ, who plays Archie, he like tweeted out saying like, yo, you thought that was crazy? Next episode's gonna be insane.
Okay, but he also said like, after you watch tonight's episode, like, you'll need an hour of recovery. And I was like, I definitely didn't need an hour of recovery, so like, I'm okay.
I wonder if they think that other audience members like really care that much about the
murder. I think, look, I think you would still, if it's your show, you're gonna amp it up, right?
Yeah,
like, this is what you've been hiding all season.
Yeah, that's true.
This is your little like egg to like show off. So that's I get it. They want to amp it up.
That's fair.
But that's what I mean. Something more tragic, like a Cheryl killing him, would have been like, oh my god.
So now that we have the reveal, I want to throw it to our rewinders. Like, not about whether or not you clocked it or whether or not you like booked the fact that he was the one that killed him. More about, are you satisfied with what went down?
Are you okay? Like, I'm personally, I've been over Jason's murder since like episode 6. Okay, you know that. Everyone knows that.
I know that.
Our fans know that. I'm done with you. I don't even care about Jason, because Jason didn't mean anything to me. I didn't know Jason. He was never a character for me. So like, I don't give a shit about him. I don't care who killed him. Cool, Clifford's dead now. I don't care about him either. So like, this story, yes, it's a huge story that like drives the season. To me, it doesn't really affect me. Like, it wasn't even Cheryl who killed him. So like, none of our core people are gonna be like.
So now my next question is like, what is going to drive the next season?
Yeah, that's a big question.
And I guess that's what's going to happen in second
question,
or like the last episode.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, some sad and disappointing news.
Oh my God, yeah.
I'm not gonna be
I can't believe it. J-Lag is skipping out on the season finale episode next week.
I totally suck.
So we're still gonna have an episode.
Planning,
we're still gonna upload an episode on Friday.
We're gonna have some amazing special guests.
In the afternoon, probably. We're gonna have some 2 guests that you guys have met before in our Archie Comics episode.
Yes. If you haven't
so
listened to that, listen to that one first.
For sure.
Get to know them a little bit. And then, they're gonna come through for this final episode. And make it just as amazing as it would have been.
So be sure to tune in next week. Friday afternoon, it will be on iTunes.
Yes.
And YouTube.
Questions, comments, concerns.
Like us.
Share us. And tweet us at recap_rewind. And that is it. We're signing out. Bye.
By the way, this is your final bye for the season.
Damn. Okay. See you guys later and see you next season. Keep watching television. I'm really pissed that I can't be there, but I'll be on a beach.
If you guys want us to do like a post like in during the summer time,
oh my God, yes,
we can do that.
Definitely.
Like
I'm
a
totally
post
down
episode
for that.
13.
Absolutely. I think we should do something to lead up or something.
If you guys want it, you guys have to follow us on Twitter or subscribe to our channel on iTunes. We will do that for you guys. Okay.
Bye.
Bye.